Freddie Gray case. Charges drop against remaining officers. Baltimore prosecutors are dropping charges against the 3 remaining officers facing trial in connection with Freddie Gray's death. Gray, 25, died after sustaining a neck injury while in police custody in April 2015. 3 of the 6 officers charged in the case had already been acquitted. Gray's death became a symbol of the black community's mistrust of police and triggered days of protests and riots in Baltimore. The city became the focal point of the Black Lives Matter movement and the nationwide debate on excessive police force. Prosecutor: inherent bias. When police policed themselves more than a year ago, Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby stood on the courthouse steps and announced charges against the officers. "No one is above the law," she said as she read out charges that ranged from second-degree depraved heart murder, to manslaughter, to second-degree assault. Read more. Just watch Who is Marilyn Mosby? Replay your videos. Must watch Who is Marilyn Mosby? 02:56. But on Wednesday, Mosby, who comes from a long line of police officers, slammed the way police handled their investigation into Gray's death. In a fiery address to reporters, she said the criminal justice system needed real, substantive reforms in order to handle a case like Gray's. "We could try this case 100 times, and cases just like it, and we would still end up with the same result." Shouting into the microphone as she read from prepared remarks, the prosecutor said the case showed an inherent bias that is a direct result of when police police themselves. There were individual police officers that were witnesses to the case, yet were part of the investigative team. Interrogations that were conducted without asking the most poignant questions. Lead detectives that were completely uncooperative and started a counter-investigation to disprove the state's case, she said. Mosby told reporters she isn't anti-police. "I'm anti-police brutality. And I need not remind you that the only loss, and the greatest loss, in all of this was that of Freddie Gray's life," she said. When Mosby first took on Gray's case, some praised how swiftly she acted. Others, however, said there wasn't enough evidence to convict the officers. New trial had been set to start. A pre-trial hearing for Officer Garrett Miller had been set for Wednesday. Trials for Officers Alicia White and William Porter had been scheduled for the fall. Baltimore Chief Deputy State's Attorney Michael Schott made the request to drop charges against them in court Wednesday. 3 officers were previously acquitted in the case. Edward Nero, the bike officer involved in the initial police encounter with Gray; Caesar Goodson, who drove the van that transported Gray; and Lieutenant Brian Price, the highest-ranking officer charged. The retrial against Porter had been scheduled after a jury deadlocked in the case against him in December. Photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter started with a hashtag. Now it is a rallying cry, a cause and a movement in the wake of the deaths of black men at the hands of police. The latest police shootings of Alton Sterling and Philando Castile have spurred a new round of protests across the country and worldwide. Hide caption 1 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Some organizers say the acquittal of George Zimmerman in the death of Trayvon Martin in 2012 is where the movement began. Demonstrators wore hoodies and carried Skittles, the candy Martin had bought on the night he was killed. Hide caption 2 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Shooting death of unarmed teen Michael Brown in August 2014 in Ferguson, Missouri, by an officer lit an existing fuse and protests engulfed the town. Hide caption 3 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. The time Eric Garner died after being placed in a chokehold by a New York Police Department officer. Support for Black Lives Matter had grown nationwide. Hide caption 4 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Protests and clashes with police after the officer wasn't indicted in the death of Michael Brown in Ferguson led to another round of protests, with their rallying cry "No justice, no peace." Hide caption 5 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Demands for change led to organized protests in major cities, including New York, Washington, Boston, San Francisco and Oakland, California, in December 2014. Hide caption 6 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Activist Muhammad Baha took the call for action into a North Charleston, South Carolina, city council after the killing of Walter Scott by a North Charleston police officer. Hide caption 7 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Death of Freddie Gray in Baltimore led to frustrations that splintered into violence. A CVS pharmacy was looted and burned during protests after his funeral. Hide caption 8 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Battle waged against the Confederate flag as a symbol of hatred after Dylann Roof was accused of killing 9 people in a South Carolina church in an attempt to spark the race war. Activist Brittany Bree Newsom took the battle flag off the flagpole at the State House in Columbia, South Carolina. Hide caption 9 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Political activism entered the 2016 campaign, with some parts of the movement deciding to interrupt presidential candidates to demand more be done. Hide caption 10 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter demonstrators made a point of protesting Democratic events to bring attention to their issues. The group had a tense meeting with Hillary Clinton in New Hampshire and released video of the conversation. Hide caption 11 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter movement also worked its way into popular culture, sparking an episode of Law and Order: Special Victims Unit, which took on a police officer killing an innocent unarmed black man. Hide caption 12 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter protesters continued to disrupt political events in an attempt to be heard, including this Hillary Clinton event in Atlanta. Hide caption 13 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Racial tensions led to a weeks-long protest movement at the University of Missouri campus that ousted both the university president and the school's chancellor. Hide caption 14 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter movement was born out of frustration over the death of young black men. The Mark Clark's funeral in Minneapolis in November is an example of that continued unified response. Hide caption 15 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter demonstrators march in Cleveland on December 29, 2015, after a grand jury declined to indict Cleveland police officer Timothy Loehmann for the fatal shooting of Tamir Rice on November 22, 2014. Hide caption 16 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter. Shrika Bawling raises her fist as she walks down Jefferson Avenue during a Black Lives Matter protest in Newport News, VA. Sunday, July 10, 2016, following the fatal shootings of Alton Sterling in Louisiana and Philando Castile in Minnesota. Hide caption 17 of 18 photos. Evolution of Black Lives Matter demonstrations have popped up in cities around the world, including this one in London on July 10, 2016, following the most recent police shootings. Hide caption 18 of 18. CNN's Carolyn Sung reported from Baltimore, and CNN's Catherine Hishoikett wrote from Atlanta. CNN's Amanda Wills contributed to this report.